Hi guys, it's your FX coach, Bliss $1 billion CEO and founder of the Billionaires Trading Academy. And in today's video, we are going to learn about the trend and the door theory. So now, after this lecture, you'll be able to know whether the market is in an uptrend, whether the market is in a downtrend, and whether the market has got no direction, right? We're taking it step by step. Well, without wasting much of the time, let's get started. So when you see price moving, and price moves as a result of supply and demand, and as it moves, it creates what we call the trends. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 types of market trends and how we can know to say the market is doing this at this particular time. So guys, if you haven't been serious, you probably need to be more serious. Now, how is this video going to help you? It's going to help you in that you not need an indicator to tell you the market is on an uptrend, right? Remember, I said I'm going to make your eyes the greatest indicator there has, whatever it is. I'm going to make your eyes the best indicator you've ever had, right? Yeah. So now, and that is my job. So without wasting much of the time, let's get started with the types of trends that we may experience in the market. So the types of trends include the upward market, the downward market. So the upward market is called a bullish market or an uptrend. Then the downward market is called a bearish market or downtrend. Then we also have the sideways. Now I'm going to focus more on the uptrend as well as the downtrend. Now when we look at the uptrend and the downtrend, there are certain characteristics that the market needs to exhibit for you to know that it is in a downtrend or it is an uptrend. Now, let's just go into that. By the way, I have to mention these theories are based on the guy called the door. That is why we call it the door theory. It works, and I would advise that you also know it, right? Well, so let's get into it. Right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I swallowed some saliva. Do that. Yeah. So let's continue. So what does this guy say about an uptrend? So how do you know if the market is in an uptrend? So he says when price is in an uptrend, prices will be making increasing higher highs and higher lows until a higher low gets intercepted. Then that signals the end of an uptrend and the beginning of the downtrend. I'm going to repeat that point. So when price is in an uptrend, prices will be making increasing higher highs and higher lows until a higher low gets intercepted. Then that signals the end of an uptrend and beginning of a downtrend. So let me just try to explain that, deeper. Hey, we go deeper. So now, this is an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend. Yeah, okay, just that's enough. So what this guy is saying, let's go back. He's saying price will be making increasing higher highs and higher lows. So now let's start by identifying the highs and the lows. So this is the starting of the trend, and we can call it the low. This is higher than this, so we'll call it the high. So this is another low, but this low is different in that it is higher than this low. So what will it be called? Guess. Yeah, you got it right. It will be called a higher low, right? If you never got it anyway, don't worry. We're still learning. You probably have a chance to get other things right. Yeah, but I'm very proud that you got it right. Yeah. So this is another high, but this high is different in that it is higher than this high. So what do we call it? Guess. It will be called the higher high. So for the sake of learning, I'll be calling the higher highs as HH, then the higher lows as HL. So this is another low, but it is higher than this previous low. What will it be called? Higher low, right? This one will be called higher high. This one higher low. This one will be called higher high. So basically, this is what this guy says when he says increasing higher highs and higher lows. Then he goes on to say until a higher low gets intercepted. So how now do we know that an uptrend is coming to an end? So already, remember, this is an uptrend. So once you see price doing like this, exhibiting these certain features, you have to know it is in an uptrend, right? Now, how do we know that an uptrend is coming to an end? Allow me to use a certain color. Yeah. So he says until it intercepts this this higher low. So what that means is it has to come all the way down. Let's try to use this. One characteristic is that it has to break this higher low. Once it breaks this higher low and comes back up, oh sorry, I've used the wrong tool. Okay, once it comes back now and fails to make what we call a higher high now, it fails to make that higher high, but then it falls like that, like that, like that, and it continues. So now, this was a high, right? Yeah. So the fact that the market has failed to make another, here we're supposed to have another higher low, but it has failed. So since it has failed, this thing that it has created, this here, it is a low. Now this low is lower than this low. So what will it be called? It will be called a lower low, right? It goes up, right? It fails to break this high to make a higher high. So now it has created another thing, and this thing is called, since this thing is a high, but then it is lower than this high, so this high will be called a lower high, right? And it goes on to say this is another low, this is lower than this low, so it will be called a lower low, and guess what this will be called? It will be called a lower high. Lower low, lower high. So what am I trying to say, ladies and gentlemen? What I'm trying to say is that once you see these characteristics starting from here to there, it is an uptrend. And how does an uptrend end? It ends once this is done, once this higher low is broken to make a lower low. So now once that is done, you don't just enter to say now it is in a downtrend. You have to wait for the market to come and do what? To come and fail to break this high, but instead make what we call a lower high. Now that gives us more confidence to say now an uptrend has come to an end, right? We'll talk about the downtrend later on. So now, let me now try to make it fancy, you know. So this over here is an uptrend, and this over here is, this over here is an uptrend, and this over here is a downtrend. So at this zone now, this is where it got intercepted, and these are the characteristics that tell us to say the structure now is changing from an uptrend to a downtrend. This is what he says. Look at this. This is an uptrend because it is making higher highs and higher lows. And what happens? Instead of making a higher high here, it makes a lower high, falls to break this higher low and makes a lower low, then up, lower high, just like that. So this signifies the end of an uptrend. So now this is an example of an uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows, and all that. So now let's talk about a downtrend. I don't want to use those, pictures. I left them deliberately, and this is what we're gonna do. So this is sorry. Yeah, I want us to take more time here. We need to understand this. This is very important. This is why others would think of getting indicators and not, just learning how the market works. So now, what do you think happens in a downtrend? In a downtrend, this guy says price will be making increasing lower highs and lower lows until a lower low is intercepted, and that signals an end of a downtrend into an uptrend. So this is a high, we call it H. This is a low, we call it L. This is a high, but we have another high, but then this high is lower than this high. So what will it be called? It will be called a lower high. This is a low, but it is lower than this low. What will it be called? It will be called a lower low. This is another high, but it is lower than this high. It will be called LH, lower high, then lower low, lower high, then lower low, then lower high. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see price making things like this, we can be confident to say it is in a downtrend. So a downtrend is characterized by these features. So now it goes on to say, how does a downtrend end? A downtrend will end, we consider a downtrend to be over once price fails to take out this low, fails to break this low, but instead goes up like that, sorry, but then goes up like that, right? It breaks that lower high. Once it breaks that lower high, comes back to retest this level and goes high like that, and it continues to go like that. And as we can see, as it continues to go like that, it has created another trend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what signifies that the market has violated the rules of a downtrend, and it is now going into what we call the uptrend. So this is how you're gonna know whether a downtrend has ended or not. I hope that is clear. If it's not clear, please rewatch this again. Yeah, this is what is telling us: lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then it fails to break this lower low to come and make another lower low, but instead it makes a higher low and it goes up like that. So it needed to retest and continues to go up like that. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looks like on the charts, and this is just an explanation of that particular chart. So this brings us to the end of this session. So I hope you are now able to tell whether a downtrend is still occurring or an uptrend is still occurring. Of course, I didn't mention the sideways market, knowing for the fact that I did mention in other videos. This is just a sideways market, and this is how we're going to know. Once the market is moving like that, we can know it is a sideways market, and we say this is a market that has no direction, right? Yeah. So well, that was it for this segment. I remain your best FX mentor, Bliss $1 billion, and I'll see you on the next video. So yeah, so that's it, guys.